KRC.
Live from the Dilly Bistro in Marymount, welcome to the Sean Miller Radio Show on the Xavier Sports Network from Learfield. Presented by TriHealth. TriHealth provides surprisingly human care that drives the best health outcomes. Be seen, be heard, be healed. Visit TriHealth.com. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. And by Dilly Bistro, presenting sponsor of the Sean Miller Radio Show. Now, here are Joe Sunderman and Byron Larkin.
Welcome to the Sean Miller Show, live from Dilly Bistro in Marymount. I'm Joe Sunderman, along with Byron Larkin and the head coach of the Xavier Musketeers, Sean Miller. On Saturday, Xavier traveled to Chicago, came away with a nice win, a 77-63 win over the DePaul Blue Demons. And, Coach, I thought Xavier played well on Saturday afternoon. I thought you had good balance. Everybody came on. You had great play off the bench.
You know, Joe, we did, and you know, I think that just as we talk here this evening about our season in general, not only all the different things that we have or haven't done, but yet, you know, what's remaining, which is clearly the most important, the next opportunity. And, you know, I thought that our team in general responded from a tough performance against St. John's at home when a lot of things didn't go our way, and you know, you can lose your confidence. A lot of self-doubt can creep in inside the team and sometimes into an individual's head. But we got through it. I thought we had a couple good days. I thought our team was focused in Chicago. You guys were there. We prepared for a game on a quick turnaround. And, you know, DePaul, as you guys watched, you know, in person, and we had a lot of great fans there, too, which is awesome, you know, to get the support that we did in Chicago. And it's really been that way all 3 times that I've traveled there. It's been just really remarkable. But I think when you look at DePaul is an improved program and team. You know, Chris Holtman, although they don't have a win yet, they really were close the other night against Seton Hall, at Seton Hall. They're going to beat somebody, and in my opinion, I think more than somebody this year. So, you know, going there isn't as it's not a gimme in this league. There are none, and especially coming off of the performance we did against St. John's, you know, how are we going to respond? Are we going to have confidence? Are we going to have the doubt? And really, I thought we started the game and we fought. It didn't come to us right away, but as the game continued to grow, we played good basketball and had long stretches of good basketball and ended up with a really good performance. And, you know, I think that's the thing with our team, that as you look at each game, and maybe even a game like St. John's, in which I said isn't a good performance, there's always been times where our level and quality of play, whether it be on the road or at home, has been very good. What we haven't had as much success doing is sustaining it throughout, right? So if you look at it, it could be a really good explosive second half scoring where you're like, wow, we were a lot better on offense in the second half than we were in the first. Numerous games you can point to that. But why was it? What did we struggle with in the first half? There's been a lot of times from the defensive perspective that we've strung together long stretches against some really good teams and have been hard to score against. And then we get to that moment where you really need the big stop, or segments where you need a couple of stops to win it, and we just haven't been able to punch through and do it. You know, the last part of it is, and I think this is the most well-documented part of our season to this point, is really the last 4 minutes of games, you know, where you have a small lead or you're down 2 points and it gets down to like possession games, and again, the final score doesn't go our way. But at the end, when you review it, you look at the game itself, and we've had stretches of quality, and that's really where I'm at in terms of being able to look at that and expand it and get away from some of the segments of these games that we wish we had over and continue to develop the good play. What is it that we're doing well? We need to get more of it, more consistent for longer stretches, and that's really what's needed here as we move through a really tough part of our schedule in the next couple of weeks.
Coach, going into that DePaul game, the Musketeers had dropped 2 games in a row, and then, you know, you talk about, I mean, that's the thing about being in the Big East. I mean, you're just a week away from being on you can go 0-2 like it's nothing, just because the amount of the parity and the amount of talented teams in the league. But relative to you spoke about confidence. Like, how do you keep a team's confidence up when they're struggling and they played well but lost, or the next game you just don't play, you don't play well at all and lose. So, and then how do you get them up? How do you instill confidence in the team as a coach?
Yeah, I mean, with us, we talked a lot about it before we played at DePaul, Byron, and kind of took the lens off of the technical part of things on the court, and really went into just what you just said, and that is, the confidence of the locker room and how we continue to move forward and get better and have success. And I think the first part of it is when things don't go well in the team sport that we're in, it's really just kind of owning it, really understanding that, look, we lost, we didn't play well. I could have done things better as a coach. And then individual players, it's like really being able to see it for what it is and owning, like, look, that's something that I need to do better if we're going to experience the results that we're after moving forward. And when you can get a group of people in the room and as a basketball team to really just say, I got it, you're right, we're right, I have to do that better. That's something that I have control over. Defensive rebounding, there are times, Coach, where I may not get every one. There are times when a guy on another team is more talented, can jump up over me. But I'll tell you this, I will block out better. I'll own that. I'll be better in that area. And when I'm better in that area, we will be better in that area because I'm a part of this team. So just kind of owning the different things and identifying those things that we can control. And, I think the second part of that, Byron, is just being able to have the willingness to work together, to accept coaching, right? To not take it in a sensitive manner, but really to take a step and say, what I'm watching, what you're saying makes sense, Coach. And now going back out at taking action, working together, where practice means a lot, where I'm trying to fix certain things in practice. I'm trying to have a great day in practice, and then a next day, and then that's 2 really good days in practice in which my focus is on the things that I need to do better and that we need to do better. Not about anything outside of our control, not about things that have already happened, but now, moving towards, and the third part of it is just we're lucky. We have a next opportunity. Our next opportunity, it's already been talked about. Coming off of losses that we had is DePaul, a road game, a dangerous road game. They're going to beat somebody. They almost beat Seton Hall, traveling to Chicago. It wasn't an uh-oh feeling when we got there. We had a couple good days. Again, you own it. You work together collectively. You control what you can, identifying those things that we can get better at. And then you really look forward to preparing, and you're eager and excited for that next opportunity, not what happened, but what's about to happen. And that moves me towards Villanova tomorrow night. Now that we've won a game on the road, and you can kind of, I don't want to say take a deep breath, but feel good on the plane ride home. Now you have a couple days to come off of that and build on it and have a chance to now win 2 in a row and win a game at home. And now what? Now you move towards the next opportunity. So I think that, as we move forward, and it's not easy, the things that I'm saying to do is, really being able to own who we are and what we've done, working collectively together, and just constantly moving forward to that next opportunity, Byron, because you said it, in the Big East, there's a lot of parity.
Coach, Jerome Hunter, I thought, was outstanding. He played 21 minutes, a very efficient game. He had 10 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, maybe just 1 turnover. But he was full of energy. And the play he made at the end of the half where you walk the clock down to 8 seconds, I laugh because Byron and I will talk about it all the time. Well, when do you start your play? 10 or 8 seconds so you get that opportunity for the tip. And we talk about it for years, and we actually got to see it happen where the shot went up, enough time left for Hunter to tap in it. But he made a heck of a play to get to the ball.
He did, Joe, and one of the reasons you probably feel that way is, offensive rebounding is not our strength. I wish we were better at it. We're not giving in there. Being able to get an extra 1 or 2 possessions, 2 or 3 possessions would mean the world to our team. That's not something we have been able to establish as far back as our early November games. Some of it is the makeup of our roster, and I think, some of it is, the injury that we had to maybe our best overall rebounder, Lucina. But with that in mind, being able to get a guy like Jerome to get us a couple each game, and he did it in the DePaul game. He not only had, I believe, 3 second shots, but he converted all 3.
He did.
So 6 of his 10 points came on second shots. And when you can get that second opportunity and you're us, there are, by the way, a lot of things that our team does really well. You know, coming to the radio show the last 2 years, you know, there's always fans that always bring up to me, Coach, why can't we shoot free throws better? You know, my goodness, free throws, it's easy. Do you ever work on free throws? Why don't you, recruit people and players that can make free throws? Well, no one brings it up right now, because if you look at it, it's actually one of our best strengths on offense. We not only make free throws, Byron, I mean, we're at 80% as a team, but we actually shoot more free throws per game than any team in the Big East, which by far, in my opinion, is our strongest stat. Being able to get to the free throw line against competition that we've played. It's called free throw rate. So we're getting there at the number 1 rate in our league, and we're converting 80%. And you're doing that usually when you say, man, we get to the free throw line a lot, that must mean you're a good offensive rebounding team, or you're a big physical, strong team. We don't do it that way, and I think that's something that for us, when you're owning the things you're not doing well, you also have to take advantage of the things that you are doing well. So back to your initial question and point, Joe, Jerome did a good job. It was like he knew his role, he did it well, and getting him to offensive rebound is part of what we need him to do moving forward.
And Coach, your team's ranked 13th in the nation in free throw percentage, second in the Big East. So they are certainly shooting the free throws extremely well this year.
I'm accurate in my assessment.
You are right on it, man. You're right on it.
You know your team.
The number to call in and talk to the coach if you like is 513-749-5500, 513-749-5500. And you're listening to the Sean Miller Coaches Show from Dilly Bistro, Marymount on 55, KRC, and the Varsity Network.
Hey Xavier fans, after a hard-fought game, there's nothing like diving into Dilly's famous beer cheese, mouth-watering wings, or one of their signature burgers. Located in Marymount, Dilly is more than just a bistro and bar. For those looking for a hearty meal, their comfort food entrees are unbeatable in value and taste. And remember, if you want to catch up with all things Musketeers, reserve a table for the Coach Sean Miller Radio Show, hosted right here at Dilly. Dilly, Bistro, Bar, and Bottle Shop. Great food, great company, let's go X.
Since 1936, Ulmer's Auto Care has been providing service beyond compare. With 8 family-owned and operated locations in Anderson, Milford, Montgomery, Deer Park, Loveland, Blue Ash, Florence, and Southgate, Ulmer's Auto Care is a name you can trust for all your automotive service needs. Providing service beyond compare is more than just a tagline, it's what they do. With complimentary shuttle service, free loaner vehicles, and an industry-leading 4-year, 50,000-mile warranty. Visit ulmersautocare.com to schedule an appointment today. Ulmer's Auto Care.
It's Toyota truck and all-wheel drive season with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else. Now through February 3rd, get a great lease deal or $2,000 customer cash on a new 24 or 25 Tundra. Excludes TRD Pro. Or get 4.99 APR financing on remaining new 24 Tacomas and new 25s. With approved credit through TFS. Excludes TRD Pro and Trail Hunter models. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Get yourself Toyota ready. Toyota, let's go places.
Hi, this is Jamie Smith, publisher of the Cincinnati Business Courier, inviting you to join thousands of local professionals who read the Courier to grow their business, their careers, and stay ahead of the competition. For over 30 years, the Business Courier has been the place where local businesses meet. Whether it's our in-depth weekly print product or our digital products or our live events, the Courier has you covered. Visit CincinnatiBusinessCourier.com or call 337-9450 to grow your business today.
Unlimited wash plans from Mike's Car Wash were made for our area's unpredictable winter weather. Grimy, dirty, salty conditions can do a number on your vehicle's finish and underbody. With unlimited wash plans, you can wash as often as you want at any of our 40 locations. And the more you wash, the more value you get out of your unlimited plan. Keep your ride protected from the worst of winter weather with an unlimited wash plan from Mike's Car Wash. Open daily at 7 a.m.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Get ready, Musketeer Nation, because light beer just got better. As the craft beer partner of Xavier Athletics, Sam Adams is here to elevate your game day experience. With the clean, crisp taste of American Light, you're not just grabbing any light beer, you're upgrading to the best in the game. It's smooth, easy drinking, and oh so refreshing. You'll be reaching for another one in no time. Plus, American Light is brewed right here in the USA, using all American sourced ingredients. Sam Adams American Light Beer, because when life calls for a cold one, it's always Sam season. When you've been diagnosed with cancer, a second opinion can provide you with much-needed peace of mind. Cincinnati Cancer Advisors believes that cause should not stand in the way of receiving a platinum-level second opinion. Our outstanding physicians are here to provide reassurance and help you and your physician to have confidence in your care plan and live your best life despite having cancer. To schedule an appointment, please visit CincinnatiCancerAdvisors.org or call 513-731-CARE. That's 513-731-2273.
Welcome back to the Sean Miller Coaches Show from Dilly Bistro in Marymount. And, of course, last week the show was canceled due to the snow. We have a makeup date. I'd like to pass that on to you. That'll be March 10th. We're going to have a show here again. So put that in the calendar and join us on March the 10th for an additional show. We'll make up the one we missed last week. Thanks again for joining us on a cold winter's night here.
And new this season, Behind the Mic, presented by Deer Park Roofing, allows fans to watch every Sean Miller Coaches Show live from Dilly Bistro. Check out the Xavier Men's Facebook page to receive notifications on upcoming shows and check out the shows you may have missed.
And we do have a mic right up here if you'd like to ask a question. We're going to put it to use right now.
Yes, thank you. Hi, Coach.
Hello.
Yes, our bench hasn't been as deep as you had planned because of injuries. So my question is, what have you done in training to increase the stamina of the team so that they could compete to the end and keep up?
Yeah. So I think that that really brings up a kind of a good topic as we move forward, and that is, I'm going through the Big East 2 times as a coach. 2 years ago, last season. This now becomes my third season in it. Because it's 20 games and you play everybody 10 at home, 10 on the road, and then I think the pageantry and the excitement that surrounds the Big East tournament, which then becomes game 21 or more, that you're playing the Big East basketball, Big East opponent, it can become a little bit of a war of attrition. I thought that happened to our team last year. We always were a little bit short, but where it really showed up big was, I would call it, in about the second week of February when you're just going in, night out, game in, game out. You've been playing, some guys heavy minutes. We didn't have a strong bench. You start to feel it more towards the end, in spite of everything you're trying to do, lifting weights, giving them extra days, shortening things. So with that, as we move forward this year, you're right. I think losing Lucina in particular for the season, that hurt our depth. But we still play 8 players every game. So I think it's 2 parts to your question. One, we've not given up on our depth. I think Dante Maddox had a couple good minutes at DePaul. This year, when you watch our team at its best, so look at UConn, in which we played a very good game, didn't end up winning, but went to overtime. Dante was one of our best players. So getting his scoring off the bench is really important. I think he still could play his best basketball of the year moving forward. I thought John Ugly gave us some good minutes against DePaul. Most recently, we're trying to get him in the game a little bit more. We want him to foul less. We want him to have less turnovers. I think that would increase his opportunity. So we're developing our bench. That's one part answer to your question. And then I think the second part is, like, for example, what we did today, and that is just really being aware of how long we're practicing. So maybe instead of it being an hour and 45 minutes, that we're trying to make it a really good and efficient hour and 30 or hour and 15 minutes. There are times we've already done this where instead of bringing our team in to watch film or do something on the court, we give them a complete day off. Recovery, learning that someone like Davion McKnight, what will allow him maybe to play the best he can against Villanova is that he feels really good. And someone who's older, who practices hard, who plays a lot of minutes in games, really looking at that. And then, the last part is our strength and conditioning program, recovery. We're around the clock. I mean, these guys can tell you, whether it be on the road, when we get back lifting weights, we're always investing in trying to get them bigger, stronger, and make them the most healthy we can. So that's the best answer I think that I can give you. But for a team to feel good about who they are in mid to late February, entering March, I think that's all of our goals as a coach. You know, sometimes you have to be healthy to do it, but that's something we're well aware of right now.
Good question. Coach, you talked about, she was talking about your bench production, and, that's an important piece of almost every team. And you teetered with the starting lineup against DePaul. You brought Zach Freeman off the bench, and he responded with 20 points and 10 rebounds, had a couple threes. He scored every which way in that game. Are you going to do more of that in the future? Do you see yourself maybe tinkering with the lineup and maybe bringing a guy off who obviously can be a starter off the bench to give you a lift?
Yeah, I mean, I think, with Jerome, Byron, he's really like a sixth starter to some degree. I think there's, our top six, Jerome's in it. And, you can make the argument that, do you want to start him in this game or not? But here's the facts. The last 3 games we've played at Georgetown, St. John's, and home, and at DePaul, we've lost the first 8 minutes of all 3 games. We've also lost the first 8 minutes in the second half of all 3 games, minus 1 4-minute segment. So, we keep track of it, and if you look at it, that's 12 4-minute media timeouts in 3 games. Again, at Georgetown, St. John's, and home, and at DePaul. And we have been handled in 11 of those 12 segments. The good news, and it's what I said earlier to start off, well, if that's the case, Coach, what about the rest of the game? The rest of the game, we're fine. As a matter of fact, we're the better team, and we've proven that. But when you dig yourself a hole in both halves, it can feel funny. It can feel funny for a home crowd. It can ignite an away crowd. It gives the other team confidence. So when you're looking for that starting lineup, you want success in those 4-minute segments. This season, we've actually done a really good job at the beginning of each game and each half. So I think the best lineup is the one we've started the most, which is Davion McKnight, Ryan Conwell, Dalen Swain, Marcus Foster, and Zach Freemantle. That doesn't lessen Jerome's role, but I just think looking at it, that's given us the most success, and then being able to sub Jerome in first for Marcus Foster or Dalen or even Zach to give those guys a break. And then obviously to go with the rest of the guys off the bench, Dante Maddox and John Ugly, they become 7 and 8. And if we go to a 9th player, which we really would like to continue to get Cam Fletcher a little bit more, Cam becomes that 9th man, and in foul trouble, injury, etc. Cam's the next man up. But to the question that I was asked, we want to get quality play off our bench. I think we need to have quality play off our bench. When we've been at our best this year, Byron, after the game, you could clearly point towards a player or sometimes multiple guys that came in the game who didn't start and did a good job. In a sense, you kind of did it about DePaul. I know Jerome started, but Zach still played starter minutes. And if you look at Jerome had 10 points and 6 rebounds. Dante Maddox hit a couple 3-point shots. I thought John Ugly gave us some good minutes. Man, that's 8 guys, 3 that don't, technically start the game, and they contributed. They were winning players, and that's really what we're after. If we hit our best and we hit our stretch here down the, as we move forward in Big East play, we can't do it with just the top 3 or 4 players on our team. We really need to have quality play from not only our starters but our bench, and we're hard at it. Whether it be player development, watching film, really emphasizing it in practice, evaluating, and working hard towards building that depth every day. I think everybody that's a part of our team would say, no, we're really trying to be deeper, and we need good contributions from more people.
All right, you're listening to the Sean Miller Coaches Show from Dilly Bistro on Marymount on 55 KRC and the Varsity Network.
Hey, Xavier fans. Looking for the latest Xavier athletics news? Visit Cincinnati.com for breaking news, game day analysis, photo galleries, schedules, and more. Home or away, Cincinnati.com has the Xavier sports scene covered. Stay on top of the action at Cincinnati.com. Join us and let's cheer for our hometown Xavier Musketeers.
when the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Can't carry a bowling ball in a plastic bag. Can't rub plastic bags together to make fire. Can't turn them into swim trunks. And you can't put plastic bags in your Rumpke recycling container. Visit Rumpke.com for recycling do's and don'ts. Learn more at Rumpke.com.
Make your recycling count. Rumpke.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletic season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
At Mike Albert Sales and Service, you can be confident in your pre-owned vehicle purchase. Our vehicles are freshly off lease from our corporate customers, so they've been well maintained. We have the vehicle histories to prove it. We also offer flexible shopping through our Click Buy Drive program and ensure all vehicles are deep cleaned according to our sanitized for your safety protocol. So whether you want all the details on your vehicle, flexible shopping options, peace of mind on your vehicle's cleanliness, or all of the above, we're here for you. Visit MikeAlbertCars.com to click, buy, and drive today.
Bourbon and barbecue sauce together as one at Buffalo Wild Wings? Bet I know how it happened. One night at a dimly lit B-Dubs, smooth bourbon bumped into tangy barbecue sauce. They chat, flirt, bat eyelashes. B-Dubs barbecue goes home with bourbon. Some hickory incense is lit. It's a full-on seduction. When they just, hey ho, sorry, you know what? Got carried away there. It's just this bourbon barbecue sauce is that good. Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go sports bar.
Limited time only while supplies last. Please drink responsibly.
Xavier fans, this is Joe Sunderman, voice of the Xavier Musketeers. Just like our Musketeers, our friends at CTI Clinical Trial and Consulting are always looking for new talent to add to their team. They even have a program specifically designed for recent graduates. If you'd like to work with a group of people on life-changing therapies to help patients around the world, CTI is the team for you. To learn more, visit ctifacts.com.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Because all that can wait. Your friends shouldn't. There are good stories to be made. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Welcome back to the Sean Miller Show from Dilly Bistro in Marymount. Bud Light, proud sponsor of Xavier Athletics. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy.
And we'd like to wish happy birthday to two longtime Xavier fans in attendance tonight, Martha Schuler and Jerry Hornbeck. They're both in attendance tonight with us.
Happy birthday, Martha. Happy birthday.
And happy they chose to spend part of their special birthday with us. So thank you for being here.
They're consistent. They're here a lot.
They are.
Which is awesome.
Martha's here every time. She never misses.
That's true.
And my buddy Jerry Hornbeck has been a Xavier fan is back when I was playing. That's a long time ago.
It is a long time ago, Byron. It is. But I know this. You still got the scoring record.
This is true.
Never to be broken, by the way.
You don't think so?
No, there's no chance
not
now.
In this, not in the transfer portal era.
Yeah, no chance. Single season, I still don't know if anyone would break it, but maybe there's a chance there, but definitely not career.
Yep.
Speaking of that, does that change your rhythm of what recruiting you might be doing right now at this time of the year as you sort of anticipate, 2 months from now you'll be having into it again, trying to figure out what you want for the fall again? So
yeah, I think the simplest way for me to describe it, Joe, is recruiting is obviously nonstop, but I think the peak of college basketball recruiting, for decades was summer into the fall being that peak time, pointing towards the early signing period of November, and then you almost recycle and things die down a little bit and maybe have some action in the spring. Now it becomes, the peak time is right when the season ends, those first 2 months of the spring. And then, when you get into the summer and into the fall, it's almost the opposite, where what the spring once was, that becomes the fall now. What the fall once was, that now becomes the spring. It just really is flip-flopped. But if you think about our calendar, one of the things that I think everybody's adjusting to is, you go through the gauntlet of that 6-month college basketball season and it ends. It feels like you should, take a deep breath and recharge, when the reality of is that month 7 and 8 become really, the future. Though that becomes the peak. So it's how it's changed, and I think that right now the focus for just about everybody is, you're aware of recruiting, but you're really coaching your team and doing the best job there.
Coach, looking at, I know there's no crystal ball, but I know you've got 2 players signed for next year, so you definitely have 2 more freshmen on the team. And with what you have coming back, is there a number of players you anticipate adding to next year's roster?
It's really impossible, Byron, to answer, because, we have 15 scholarships coming up. How we use them, I think we're really, thinking about it on an everyday basis and being as smart as that we possibly can to get it right. But, I think that just generally speaking, there'll always be a lot of movement and action in the spring. It's impossible to give the set number. I don't really know if any coach could, just because you don't have the answers to a lot of different things, one of which you don't have even the answers to what rules are or aren't going to change. If you remember now, as we started out, in last year, that's when the 2-time transfer that did not graduate. So you've been at 2 schools, you're ready to go to your 3rd school, and yet you haven't graduated, you would be eligible right away. I mean, that just happened last year, so that was a game changer of epic proportions for a lot of programs, right? But nobody really knew that was going to happen until it did. So there are different things that potentially could happen this spring that could affect how many players come back or how many new players you get. So I think the one thing to bank on is there'll be always a lot going on in the months of March, April, and May with building your roster for the next year. And I don't really think that's our strategy at Xavier. I think that's just the world of college basketball now.
Well, I understand that there was a change in the rules relative to junior college players, in that their junior college time doesn't count against their eligibility. And moving forward, things just change all the time. Right?
I think that's your point. There was really something that people are talking about right now, is that somebody that would be in their 4th year of college, not a COVID year, not someone who's exercising their 5th year this year, but somebody who's in their 4th year. I don't believe we have any players that are just like in their 4th year, that potentially there's a petition or a rule that could change that would allow them to get a 5th year. That would be everybody across college basketball and sports. But why that would happen, or look, I'm being presumptuous. Do I know for a fact that it's going to happen? Absolutely not. I don't, and I don't think anybody does. The last 2.5 years have just been really incredible when you think of how much things have changed.
Coach, I've heard that rumor also where that eligibility might be now you get 5 years regardless. The clock starts after 5 years, you're out. If you're healthy, you play all 5 years. If you need a couple of years for injuries, you play 3 years and you sit out 2 years. Is that what's possibly on their horizon?
I don't know. It's a good point. Okay. You got to bring it to the one of those committees. There's about 100.
Give me some phone numbers. We'll
there's
start
about
tomorrow.
100 committees. Pick one of them and throw it out there. Once in a while, something will stick.
Hey, we talked about this earlier about your substitutions and so forth, and you mentioned Cam Fletcher trying to get him more playing time. I noticed you had him in the ball game early in the game at a critical point. He played a little under 2 minutes. But is your mindset of when you put him in, I thought was interesting in terms of maybe how you're viewing his physical ability to sustain more playing times and when you might utilize him?
Yeah, I mean, I think with Cam, we judge him more on what we see every day than just, the actual game even though he got in early, to your point, Joe, and he's getting better. He's healthier now. He's learning. He's had an amazing disposition and attitude from the time that he's gotten here late in the spring through the summer and into the fall. He's somebody that we really love having as part of our program. What he does is he can really offensive rebound, and physically, I think, looking at it, has the ability to defensive rebound. We're just trying, I think, to get him to really settle in and do the things on offense that he can do, and take care of the ball and defensively be a part of the solution. But when you think about rebounding, you can't just continue to complain about it without making some type of change. We're working on it. We're addressing it. I do think we have a few guys on our team who can do a better job than they've done recently. But you also can insert somebody like Cam into the game and give us something that we haven't tried before. And to do that, you get a big second shot. All of a sudden, things like I said, Jerome Hunter, the fact that he got 3 offensive rebounds and scored all 3 against DePaul, it felt like 10 points. That's how important that part of the game is for our team. If Cam could come in and keep the ball alive and go after a couple offensive rebounds, that would be something that could really help our bench.
All right, this is a Sean Miller Coach's Show from Dilly Bistro in Marymount on 55 KRC and the Varsity Network.
At Kroger, an annual Boost membership just got even better. Now you can choose from Disney Plus with ads, Hulu with ads, or ESPN Plus on us when you sign up. Plus, enjoy unlimited free delivery, double fuel points, exclusive offers, and free items. Sign up for a Boost membership today. It's an easier way to save, including new streaming options to relax with while we deliver your groceries. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Get ready, Musketeer Nation, because light beer just got better. As the craft beer partner of Xavier Athletics, Sam Adams is here to elevate your game day experience. With the clean, crisp taste of American Light, you're not just grabbing any light beer, you're upgrading to the best in the game. It's smooth, easy drinking, and oh so refreshing. You'll be reaching for another one in no time. Plus, American Light is brewed right here in the USA, using all American-sourced ingredients. Sam Adams American Light Beer, because when life calls for a cold one, it's always Sam season.
Bourbon and barbecue sauce together as one at Buffalo Wild Wings? Bet I know how it happened. One night at a dimly lit B-Dubs, smooth bourbon bumped into tangy barbecue sauce. They chat, flirt, bat eyelashes. B-Dubs barbecue goes home with bourbon. Some hickory incense is lit. It's a full-on seduction. When they just, hey, ho, sorry, you know what? Got carried away there. It's just this bourbon barbecue sauce is that good. Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go sports bar.
Limited time only while supplies last. Please drink responsibly.
Xavier fans, this is Joe Sunderman, voice of the Xavier Musketeers. Just like our Musketeers, our friends at CTI Clinical Trial and Consulting are always looking for new talent to add to their team. They even have a program specifically designed for recent graduates. If you'd like to work with a group of people on life-changing therapies to help patients around the world, CTI is the team for you. To learn more, visit ctifacts.com.
Hey Xavier fans, after a hard-fought game, there's nothing like diving into Dilly's famous beer cheese, mouth-watering wings, or one of their signature burgers. Located in Marymount, Dilly is more than just a bistro and bar. For those looking for a hearty meal, their comfort food entrees are unbeatable in value and taste. And remember, if you want to catch up with all things Musketeers, reserve a table for the Coach Sean Miller radio show, hosted right here at Dilly. Dilly, bistro, bar, and bottle shop. Great food, great company, let's go X.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
It's Toyota truck and all-wheel drive season, with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, including all-wheel drive versions of the best-selling Corolla. Now through February 3rd, get low-rate financing on a Corolla, or lease a gas-powered 25 Corolla LE for $229 a month for 39 months with $32.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details, or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Unlimited wash plans from Mike's Car Wash were made for our area's unpredictable winter weather. Grimy, dirty, salty conditions can do a number on your vehicle's finish and underbody. With unlimited wash plans, you can wash as often as you want at any of our 40 locations. And the more you wash, the more value you get out of your unlimited plan. Keep your ride protected from the worst of winter weather with an unlimited wash plan from Mike's Car Wash. Open daily at 7 a.m.
Welcome back to Dilly Bistro and the Sean Miller Show.
When you're out of town and want to keep up with live college sports, be sure to download the new Varsity Network app. It's available for both Apple and Android. Listen to college sports live with the Varsity Network app.
Ryan Conwell has hit 51 three-pointers this season. That's ranks him 25th in the nation, the number of three-pointers scored. I thought he was really good against DePaul due to the fact he got to the free throw line so much.
Yeah, that aspect of his game is developing. He's adding to it. He's more confident. He's better at it, and that's really to Ryan's credit. Earlier in this show, I mentioned that one of the statistics that I hope we can continue to be good at is that free throw rate. Usually if you get to the free throw line consistently, especially in conference play, and you're a good free throw shooting team, that translates to a lot of great stuff. And Ryan's part of that right now in that he's better today driving the ball, making decisions, getting fouled, and actually scoring from two. If you look at his 2-point percentage and field goal percentage, it's incrementally grown since November. He's better right now scoring at the rim in transition and drives than he did earlier in the year. And I think that he's adding that to his game. But that's a good observation, Joe, because when the shot doesn't go in, and I don't care how good of a shooter you are, there's always those nights. And, you rely on being able to go get fouled, get an easier shot, get closer to the basket. And that's what good scorers do. Byron, you know that better than anybody. And I think what that makes you is you're more of a scorer than a shooter. You're a player than just a specialist. And Ryan is a very good player. I think the other part, just giving Ryan credit, is there's no team that plays against us that doesn't start with him on the perimeter. They're putting their best perimeter player. How we try to get him shots, they are trying really hard to take that away. We're asking Ryan to play not only the two, but when Davion is out of the game, he's also our one. Defensively, Ryan's matched up against some really talented players on the other team. Against Villanova, there's a newcomer on their team, Wooga Poplar, who came from Miami, who's playing great basketball right now. He's almost a 20-point game a scorer in recent games, so like high teens. So you're guarding him on defense. You're playing not only the two, but the one. You're the focus, you and Zach, of the other team's scouting report. They're trying to take away your three-point shooting. It's not an easy life on the court. It really isn't. There are times when he's needed some help. And we have to continue to do a good job supporting and helping him. But, his ability to make threes, his ability to do a lot of things for our team, he's having a very good year. And I do think that now that he's played a real round of Big East games and has a better feel for the speed and what one team looks like from the next team and how you go from a Tuesday or Wednesday game to a Saturday game, now that he's got that experience, I think that he continues to grow and settle in, where you may see his best basketball here in this month, January and February. He's practicing really well. And against DePaul, the one thing that he did is he put a subpar first half behind him, came out, and really put it together in the second half. And he didn't do it just behind the line. He did it, what you were saying, Joe, a couple strong drives, getting to the free throw line, and really being a well-rounded player.
Coach, you looking at his numbers, he's 51 out of 127 from three, and he takes a lot of threes, in the game. And looking at your next opponent, Villanova, they've got a player, Eric Dixon. He's 6'8", 265 pounds. He's taken 115 threes. That's a lot of threes for a guard. He's a big man, and he's almost taken as many as Ryan Conwell. We haven't talked a lot about Villanova yet, but he's one of the top scorers in the country at 25 points a game. We've seen him develop over the years and what he was as a freshman to what he is now. Eric Dixon, he's definitely kind of the main cylinder for Villanova.
Really is. And, you can use Eric Dixon to just talk about what's changed the most in college basketball over recent years, and that is there was a time not too long ago that you worried about a player when he's younger, that he was made to feel that if he stayed in college and came back, for his sophomore year, if he was an outstanding freshman, or came back for his junior year, if he had a great freshman and sophomore year, that he would almost be looked at as a failure, almost like, what's wrong with you? You're a senior. When I was at Arizona, one of the guys in our practice early on, we were getting into it, blue versus red. It got competitive, and one guy on my team said to another guy on my team, man, you're sorry. You're sorry. That's why you're a senior and you're still here. And I stopped the action and said, everybody, we need to go to the locker room and sit down and talk about this. If we're going to get to the point where you're sorry because you became a senior, we're all in the wrong sport, business, journey, you're at the wrong program, right? But that was reflective of just how the system made a lot of these younger guys feel. Well, if you think about what's changed the most, somebody like Eric Dixon, he's hitting his stride in his 5th year. He's been a fixture at Villanova, even as a young player for Jay Wright. He's improved every year, and now, he's up for Big East Player of the Year. I know 2 weeks ago he was leading American scoring. If he's not the #1 scorer in college basketball, Byron, I think he's one of the top 2 or 3, and he is just an absolute monster killer. He really is. He'll be one of the best players that visits the Cintas Center in recent memory. So what's changed is that guy never would have been made to feel that he should come back for even his junior year, let alone a 5th year, right? So in some ways, the quality of play of college basketball, you can make a case, I think, might be better than ever, because sometimes the guy who's out there hasn't been out there for a long, long time. In other words, 22, 23 years old, 4th year, 5th year, and he's playing his best basketball at the end. We have somebody who's doing it, Zach. If Zach didn't get hurt and missed 3 full weeks, you look at his stats and say, Zach's having his career best year in his final year with us, right? But there would have been a time when a guy like Zach would have been made to feel like, now you got to go on and make money and leave and become a part of whatever's out there. So, again, a lot's changed. Maybe that's one of the benefits of something good that's changed.
All right, you're listening to the Sean Miller's Coaster Show from Dilly Bistro in Marymount on 55 KRC and the Varsity Network.
At Mike Albert Rental, behind every adventure is a technician making sure your vehicle is safe for the road ahead. The custodian who deep cleans with your health and safety in mind. An associate who's ready to find the right vehicle for you. And behind it all, giving it their all, is our team at Mike Albert Rental. From sedans to box trucks, we have the vehicle you need at a great low rate. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Reserve your vehicle today at MikeAlbertRental.com.
Great care begins with a great plan. Cincinnati Cancer Advisors offers zero-cost second opinion oncology services that can give you a better understanding of your cancer diagnosis and instill confidence in your choice of treatment. Our team of experts are here to listen and help, working directly with your treating oncologist. Cancer doesn't wait, and neither should you. To schedule your appointment, please visit CincinnatiCancerAdvisors.org or call 513-731-CARE. That's 513-731-2273.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Hi, this is Jamie Smith, publisher of the Cincinnati Business Courier, inviting you to join thousands of local professionals who read the Courier to grow their business, their careers, and stay ahead of the competition. For over 30 years, the Business Courier has been the place where local businesses meet. Whether it's our in-depth weekly print product or our digital products or our live events, the Courier has you covered. Visit CincinnatiBusinessCourier.com or call 337-9450 to grow your business today.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, Xavier fans. Looking for the latest Xavier Athletics news? Visit Cincinnati.com for breaking news, game day analysis, photo galleries, schedules, and more. Home or away, Cincinnati.com has the Xavier sports scene covered. Stay on top of the action at Cincinnati.com. Join us and let's cheer for our hometown Xavier Musketeers.
Can't carry a bowling ball in a plastic bag. Can't rub plastic bags together to make fire. Can't turn them into swim trunks. And you can't put plastic bags in your Rumpke recycling container. Visit Rumpke.com for recycling do's and don'ts. Learn more at Rumpke.com.
Make your recycling count. Rumpke.
Since 1936, Ulmer's Auto Care has been providing service beyond compare. With 8 family-owned and operated locations in Anderson, Milford, Montgomery, Deer Park, Loveland, Blue Ash, Florence, and Southgate, Ulmer's Auto Care is a name you can trust for all your automotive service needs. Providing service beyond compare is more than just a tagline, it's what they do. With complimentary shuttle service, free loaner vehicles, and an industry-leading 4-year, 50,000-mile warranty. Visit ulmersautocare.com to schedule an appointment today. Ulmer's Auto Care.
Welcome back to the Sean Miller Coaches Show. And, Coach, a question just during the breakup here. Were you surprised to get Zach Fremantle back on the court as quickly as you did? I think not only, in my opinion, that he came back because everybody anticipated a much longer time away if he came back at all, but then to be playing like he used to so quickly is kind of unbelievable.
Your second point, I think, is the one that I really would love to talk about, simply because, when Zach got hurt, we at first I thought we were going to lose him for the season, and I really felt that way for about a week. That wasn't like anyone was saying it, but just, the significance of his injury, all that he had been through, just really being careful how long it would take. But, he started to really come on quicker. I think the bone bruise part of his injury was the most significant. He's, stable, and I think it's a real testament to what I talked earlier about when I described Zach to people is I don't know if I've ever been around somebody who takes care of his body, who works harder at the game than him. Just when you get injured and you're immobile, you can't walk for a while, it's such a dark moment. You're weeks without, it just feels like you're alone in the world. You're not part of a team, can't travel, and then you wonder, like, okay, I got to get first off these crutches or get to the point where I can move around. Then you can move around. Well, you can move around, but you can't do anything. So you pick up weight, you get into bad habits, you lose your motivation. He, through all of it, remarkably, like, his body fat actually went down. It actually went in a good direction. Like, when you look at him, I mean, he's as fit as any athlete in college basketball. Height, weight, just body fat, strength, explosion. And, I think to a large extent, his unbelievable physical conditioning was a factor in that injury not being more significant. I also think it was a huge factor in him getting back sooner than we thought. But I don't think anybody, maybe other than him, anticipated him being able to get back within 3 weeks. And then, to your next point, Joe, it's one thing to miss 3 weeks. Then when you come back, how many games are going to take to get back to how you once were? Well, guess what? It didn't take any. He really hit the ground running. So we're thrilled to have him back.
Good deal. Thanks, everybody, for joining us for the Sean Miller Coaches Show from Dilly Bistro, Marymount on 55 KRC and the Varsity Network.